Welcome back to What She Said Sports, everybody. All right. I've been running around putting this show together. Okay, so some hot and heavy conversation took place today with a lot of people not believing who, is leading on defense when it comes to certain stats. And people have to remember, right? Colorado is 2-2. And we're not used to being 2-2, except for outside of year one. And hell, we weren't even 2-2. We were 3-0. We started 3-0. We've never started by winning 2 games, only winning 2 games. So I put together a good show, and I'm going to share what's happening with defense. So I said that defense is under the microscope, and I said also that we're going to get to defense. When we were talking about offense, because, that's where the game starts. I said, let's get offense out the way, and then we're going to come back and we're going to deal with defense. So offense is clicking, right? I'm not saying it's perfect. It's clicking. And shout out to Kaden Salter. He was shout out by Select QBs as one of the quarterbacks that Daryl Colbert Jr. is working with. Select Athletics. I think that's what he's calling it. So So if they're still working together, I'm happy to see that, right? I think Kaden will only go up from here. And while the offense is clicking, defense, not so much. Two reigning themes, or 3, take place where defense is concerned. One complaint, we're playing too much man. In other words, we need to switch to zone because, we see our guys getting burned, right? We talked about Vickers last week. We liked Vickers when we saw him the first time, but it seems like all of this man coverage, the guys are starting to kind of look like they being worn out a little bit, right? So why are we playing so much man? I read something that said Livingston, his philosophy is he plays to the player's strengths. Now, that's one of the critical complaints, that we're playing way too much man. When you see the guys get burned on a few routes, why keep them out there in man? Why don't we switch to zone? Or mix it up? Maybe it's too predictable. I don't know what the hell it is, but that's the major complaint. We're playing too much man. Second, it's a lot of rotating happening. And while rotating is good, it can also be bad because players have to get in rhythm. And my complaint, for What She Said Sports opinion, is I feel like we're rotating because we don't know who our best players are. That's why I think we're rotating. I don't think we're rotating because, like, Preston Hodge had, 45 yards and pass interference. Well, we were supposed to rotate. I said after the first one, just pull him to the side, get somebody else in there, and then put him back out there. But no, we just left him out there. Same thing with Vickers. We just left him out there, right? So we're not rotating to, help the players sustain through the game when defense is out there a lot. We're rotating because we don't know who is, right? Our number 1 defender in tackles right now is Taufik Bayar. I don't think anybody should be surprised by that. I don't think anybody should be surprised by that. We said when he gets in the game, when he plays, it's him. What is the goal of defense? To stop the other team. Tackles is going to be your number 1. Yeah, you want to get some sacks too, right? But you got to tackle to get the sack, right? So tackles matter a lot. And a lot of people think it should be this person or it shouldn't be that person. Numbers don't lie. right? It's a lot of stat houses out here, including ESPN, that track numbers. So if I tell you somebody's in the top 5, it's some numbers to go with it. And the first thing you have to do on defense is stop the other team. And what the hell does that involve? Okay, so shout out to Kamarni McLean. I was looking at his numbers. I don't know if he's starting over there or not, but he's at 6 tackles and he already has 1 interception. So he's doing well. You know, I don't, like I said, I don't know if he's a starter or not. I didn't get the impression he was. I just wished him well. You know, because I liked him with us, but I understand things, you know, had to change. So just shout out to Carmani. Y'all know Colton Hood is over at Tennessee. We just got somebody new. Wide receiver coming in from IMG. That's a strong pipeline. Shout out to Omarion Miller. Omarion was standing in front of a Dr. Pepper sign, so it looked like he has a partnership with Dr. Pepper. So I just wanted to show some love to the guys, regardless of what side of the ball, before I get hot and heavy in this defense conversation. Welcome to What She Said Sports. 59 of us. Hit the like button. We're live on Twitch, X, and YouTube right now. So I'm going to play a clip that, again, another stat house was having a conversation about BYU versus Colorado. Take a listen. And y'all know I already asked, what do you grade Doc Livingston, or what is his name? Rob Livingston. What do you grade Livingston? What's his grade? Some of y'all said, a lot of y'all said like 6 out of 10 or 7. I asked a few days ago after the Wyoming game, what do you grade by letter? What do you grade? I think I asked for the secondary or the defense at whole. Y'all gave us grades for that. I think it was secondary. It wouldn't surprise me because I keep honing in on the secondary. Take a listen to what they're saying, because I'm not the only one who's honing in on the secondary. And a lot of the challenges, I don't know if they're because we're playing man too much, but I know the secondary is not where what we're used to seeing from Colorado. So let's just take a listen to what they said, and we're going to talk about it. And I got Travis stats. I told y'all that I kept asking through week 4, where was Travis Hunter's stats? I got his stats. We're going to talk about them as well. Let's just take a listen to these guys. Colorado is the underdog by 6.5 points going into this game. So just take a listen. This is another opinion.
2 games against Power 4 teams, Georgia Tech and Houston. In those 2 games, he gave up 550 rushing yards. 330 against Georgia Tech, 220 against Houston.
Okay. See those 2 games right there? That's why some of y'all faves not in the top 5. Okay.
Not good. Okay. And BYU, they want to run the football with LJ Martin and these guys up front. In those 2 games, he gave up 550 rushing yards.
I mentioned those guys. I said they're running back LJ Martin, and they got a hurdler too. And he not even a starter. Just like we got Simeon Price, I think that 3rd string is a hurdler over there. So on X, I actually went through, studied the team, and started naming some players. And their running back, I named him, and they got a backup that's like 3rd string, and he liked the hurdle too. They gonna run that ball. Don't forget about the fullback, number 47, the damn quarterback, Bachmeier.
330 against Georgia Tech, 220 against Houston. Not good. Okay. And BYU, they want to run the football with LJ Martin and these guys up front. 2, Colorado has the 3rd worst coverage grade in the Power 4. And we knew this team last year with Travis Hunter and those guys as a constant of, okay, at least they can cover. They're going to get in this man-to-man cover. 2, Colorado has the 3rd worst coverage grade in the Power 4.
That's why some of y'all faves not in the top 5.
And we knew this team last year with Travis Hunter and those guys as a constant of, okay, at least they can cover. They're going to get in this man-to-man coverage. They're going to be able to cover. The only 2 teams with a worst coverage grade in the Power 4 are Virginia Tech and UCLA. And those 2 teams don't have their head coaches anymore. So if this could get up to be a really bad scenario for Colorado if they first don't stop the run better than they did in the first 2 games against Georgia Tech and Houston. And then again, if BYU gets into the play action, those layers, that second layer of their offense where Bachmeier has been really, really good. There's bootlegs. He likes the straight play action, even in the shotgun. He's looked good so far throwing those play action passes. If BYU gets the full depth of their offense, I'm extremely worried. I think this will be a bit more of a close to the vest defensive game. You still have a true freshman quarterback going into a very hostile environment. I've got it 24-17 BYU. I think their defense is the best unit on the field.
Yeah.
All right. So a few things that we're going to touch on that he said. First and foremost, notice they said they compared out. They talked about our coverage, and they also talked about the teams that had the worst coverage, and they don't have their head coaches no more. Not a coincidence, guys. Not a coincidence. We got to get this defense right. And to me, when your coordinator sees that your guys are being burned and you know the stats and you say, I'm playing to their strength, you saying we don't have no good corners? That's what you're saying. We don't have a good secondary. That's what you're saying. And with Coach Prime being the best in the NFL, how is that the case? Whether it's recruiting, whether it's development, or whatever, right? So let's just finish taking a listen again. The alarm is sounding, and the team that don't have their head coaches, what do they have in common with Colorado? Well, okay, this is why some of y'all faves not in the top 5. We have lost 2 games, and there's some people who are butthurt that they faves not in the top 5. They thought they should be. There were some people who were expected to come in and be top 5, and they not. One, I don't even know if he's playing. I think he's hurt. We'll talk about that too. All right, let's get back to it.
I have it 27-23 BYU in this one too. I think 2 guys that you called out there, and also Cade Kirshner, shout out him in the chat too. He said Isaiah Glasker and Jack Kelly are the real deal. They will be huge in keeping contain on Caden Salter in this game too. Now
remember, I told y'all they have 2 edge rushers. It wouldn't be surprised if that's who it is that he's talking about, because I saw some numbers. I don't remember no names. I sent y'all the link to go watch the cut. BYU versus ECU and Stanford, because one will take you to the other. This is what I was talking about.
I will say, although people are kind of selling all stock in Colorado right now, and I get it, they've lost 2 games, I think that Colorado's got a shot in this game. I think Caden Salter, maybe if he found something in that Wyoming game, we saw, even Jalen Milroe at times last year after getting benched, or a couple years ago, I should say, after getting benched, comes back in, looks great the rest of the year. Caden Salter, maybe after getting benched for one game, maybe he comes back and has learned from his mistakes, because he had a great.
Okay, yeah, no. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so y'all see, now mind you, I just saw this today. I told y'all what I thought yesterday. I told you there's 2 edge rushers. It wouldn't be surprised if that's the 2 people he named today. After watching BYU, I'm telling y'all, them 2 edge rushers, Caden gonna have to use them legs. Secondly, if the secondary is struggling on man and we keep playing man and they don't switch the zone, or we don't have an answer for it, we're going to have to go back to playing football the way we used to play football, with the quarterback keeping us in the game. Whether it's the run game is down because Simeon Price and the Kayla Taylor might be out. They talked about that at the end. I sure hate to hear that, because as we can see, they were 2 of the strongest runners that we had. But don't forget, Caden was actually the leading rusher. But that was after Simeon, I think, had to come out the game. And then we saw the Kalen limp to the side. I'm like, oh, Lord, we can't have these injuries, not right now. So without the best 2 runners that we've seen thus far, it's going to be on Michael Welch, Dallin Hayden, and Caden Salter. It's going to be on those 3. And they probably going to pull Isaiah Harge and maybe have him run a ball or 2, or Cam McHale, because Cam McHale is wearing a gray jersey this week. So that means we have 2 gray jerseys, Cam McHale and Isaiah Harge. So one of them might have to don't forget about Draylon. The story about, him dropping balls, I at him in the tweet, post, or whatever, and said, look, just stay with it. This might be his week. If the Kalen and Simeon Price are out track, if they out, then they're gonna have to rely on him. So I sent him an ad. I said, look, just stay with it, just stay ready. Because I know he's used to doing well. So for him, I know it just probably negatively affects him, and then not having as much time probably also affects him as well. But Caden gonna have to probably be the leading rusher, and Draylon gonna have to step up, and Dallin Hayden and Michael Welch is gonna be on them. And remember, Colorado defense got to run with whoever running with the ball, because just like Wyoming came and stripped the ball from Micah, understand BYU is planning on doing the same thing, especially if they don't see no Colorado jerseys around. It's going down. All right. So why do I have these two on the screen right here? Because last week we were talking about offense. And Shador was missed. Well, this week we talking about Travis being missed, right? Travis wasn't just the Heisman winner. He obviously was an integral part of this team. So I wanted to know where Travis was this time last year. So I found some stats that could tell me through week 4. I've been talking. At the conclusion of week 4 in 2024 college football season, here are Travis Hunter's defensive stats for the CU Buffs. Okay, so this is supposed to be through 2024. Now, nothing is perfect. But it looks realistic, so I went with it. It said that Travis had 6 total tackles. I think assists. He had 3, and then it says solo 3. So 6 total. Okay, so 3 and 3. And then it said he had 2 interceptions. I think that's 2. I have a light in my face, so I can't really see it. And interception yards was 38. So by this time, he looked like he'd already had 2 interceptions just for him alone. And six tackles in total, right? And we know he went on to have a great season. So I just was like, well, let me see where some of our guys are. So remember 6 and remember 2 interceptions. So right now, Taufik Bayard is the leading tackler with 25 total tackles, 17 solo with 8 assists, and he has half of a sack with 5 sack yards. So that's where he is. And I don't even know if Taufik really played in the Georgia Tech game. Again, all of that rotation really hurt these guys' numbers. Because some guys played, some didn't, right? And then you have Reginald Hughes. Y'all know he played a lot. Reginald Hughes and Martavius French are the 2 and 3 because remember, they played the most. Like Georgia Tech, I think they had like 11 or 14 tackles. They have 24 and 18 respectively, 24 for Hughes and 18 for French. And I remember somebody saying in the Delaware game that French didn't have that much. And I was like, well, maybe he was injured. So again, this heavy rotation, I think we have more Jeremiah Brown and Ben Finessett at the time. So if he was out injured, then that also affects his numbers. And I believe he doesn't have any sacks, no pass deflected. Bayard actually across the board, 25 total tackles with half a sack, 5 sack yards, 1 pass deflected. And then it's Reginald Hughes, 24, but no pass deflections, no sacks. Then it goes on to Martavius French. He had 14 solo with 4 assists with 18 total, 1 sack, 4 sack yards, no pass deflected or interceptions. And then it goes to Carter Stoudemire with 17 total, 11 solo, 6 assists, no sacks, 3 pass deflections. And then Arden Walker with 17 total tackles. You have 10 solo, 7 assists, 1.5 sacks. So he's leading in sacks, I do believe. But he's tied with Keaton Wade because they're the edge rushers, right? 8 sack yards, 1 pass deflection. So their tackles and their sacks are the most, Keaton Wade. Then and there were times Keaton wasn't playing. He has 14 total, but he's not in the top 5. Then then it moves on to after Arden, it goes down to Preston Hodge, then it goes to Ben, then it goes to DJ McKinney. Preston Hodge actually has 5 pass deflections. So yeah, these guys, it's gonna hurt them if they keep rotating, if we can't figure out who's who. But then I understand we were rotating so much. Why? We were rotating so much because look at the Georgia Tech game. We had the people on the field. Then look at the Delaware game. We had how many quarterbacks? Three quarterbacks. And then it was different units for that, I guess, depending on who the hell the quarterback was. Then we go to U of H. U of H game was no different than Georgia Tech. Defense played way too much. Matter of fact, I think Ryan Staub has some of the shortest duration of drives. So, you know, that's where we at. We're at a place where now we need the defense to get it together. We understand on offense. Shout out to Yaya. He's getting a lot of love because people are watching his film and seeing that he's a dog. And I think it was Coach Prime that said, Yaya, because that's what I call him. I don't know if it's Yo-Yo, but I thought it was Yaya. Coach Prime said basically it's like he is the big little brother to Shiloh and Shadur's because they were so tight while they were there. Even I think his hair is cut like Bucky. I think he got the ducktail in the back, that Dallas haircut. So a lot of people are starting to be recognized. Slaughter, again, recognized by Coach Prime. People pointed out Amari McNeil had a good game, but through four games, Tawfiq Bayard is the guy, right? So what does that mean? That means when this game starts, he should be a starter, right? All of your top 5 guys should be starters because it's across the board, right? It starts with tackles, then it moves over to sacks, then it moves over to pass deflection. That's very, very important, right? So again, heavy rotation, losing 2 games is hurting a little bit, playing a lot of man coverage. You heard what these 2 guys were saying about Colorado's coverage in the Power 5. And actually, 2 of the coaches got fired that actually had poor coverage. So here's the thing, right? We got to get this right. We got to get this right. And playing BYU this week, right? Playing BYU, it's going to expose a lot. It's going to expose if offense is really clicking or if it was just Wyoming. That's facts. It's going to expose if defense is going to get it together or we just going to be going down this path, holding our breath, hoping that, nothing happens to our favorite college coach, right? Because while people would say, nah, his job's safe. Yeah, okay. You understand the climate that we living in. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. I don't care what they told you. Because we know pressure works, right? Pressure works both ways. We saw pressure applied when Pat Schumer wasn't living up to standard. And now, I can't call him Doc Livingston. Rob Livingston is under the microscope. He's the highest paid defensive coordinator at Colorado. Is his job safe? Is his contract guaranteed? You know what I mean? So that's on Rob Livingston. If he's saying he playing today's strengths and they keep getting burned on man, then he's saying that's the best he has. And I would wonder why you don't switch to zone, but that's what he's saying. So we got to get this together. BYU is going to expose a lot. Again, I don't really care much about Vegas, but I'm not surprised that they have us at an underdog. But I do think people were surprised to hear that CU's coverage is not ranked high. It's not good. It's suffering. It's suffering. And I would think you knew this before I knew this, why you didn't already switch to more zone coverage. That's my thing, right? We're leaving guys in. Preston Hodge having 3 penalties like that. That's no different than Baltimore and Derrick Henry fumbling the ball 3 times. It's not any difference, right? Travis already had 2 interceptions by himself at this point. So obviously he's missing. They say it was some jealousy over there when Travis was there last year. And I'm thinking to myself, jealous for what? Because you could see there's a big gap without him there. So here's some other numbers that popped up for Travis. Let's take a look. Oh, that's actually the spread for BYU. It said BYU is a 6.5 point favorite over Colorado. And if y'all bet, I don't know. I don't bet. This is the money line. I do pay attention to the total over and under. It says that it's set at around 48 points. So that means if they say we're going to lose, it's going to be a close game with both of us having somewhat 20, maybe 23, I don't know, points for Colorado. But it's not good, right? It's not good. And numbers don't lie. So for people that wonder about the stats, if I say somebody in the top 5, it's some numbers out there. It's some numbers out there. I speak Statanese. So it's some numbers out there, right? And I don't care what position you play on defense, your job is to stop the other team. And tackling is huge. So are sacks, pass deflections. I've said it so many times. We need to make something happen. The interceptions are low. Travis had 2 by himself. So that's a big difference, right? That's a big difference. We're going to have to get that together. And if we don't have it together with a game plan, because that's where it starts with the game plan. If we don't have it together with the game plan, it's going to be exposed early. Now, I told y'all, BYU, we don't have to come out like gangbusters and score. They'll wait in the bushes. So we can't get excited if we seemingly scoring and they not. They just in the bushes waiting. Understand that. And you heard him say, the quarterback like to run the bootleg. I told you he played like he a fullback or running back or something. He even wears the number 47. So while he's a freshman, he's not your average freshman. All right. So let me see what y'all are saying. But before I do, hop over to the comments. I just want to go ahead on and share this cute little photo right here. Y'all know who this is. This is Mr. Snow. I think I learned his whole name. Snow Sanders Broadnax. I didn't know his last name. So he has his own IG page. I've seen him in a Fashion Nova commercial ad on Instagram already. He's been somewhere on the boat. I was like, wait a minute. Snow is out here living. I'm like, he's out here living. But what I love about this photo, jury starts early in the Sanders family, but so does the confidence. So does the confidence. You can see it, right? He don't look worried at all about anything. So shout out to Snow. That's my guy. I think I said I can't wait to see a play date with Baby Hunter and Snow. How long before you think they meet up? Because Snow is 1. He just turned 1. And then Baby Hunter was just born recently. So we're going to have to give him a year. So maybe when Snow is like 2.5 and Baby Hunter is about 18 months, almost going on 2. Yeah, maybe 3 to 2. Maybe 3 to 2. Maybe. We'll see. But they're going to meet up. You already know. All right. So I just wanted to share that picture. I always like to share something good. All right. Let's go over here to the comments. Let me put Snow back up here. Let's go over here to the comments so I can see what y'all saying. Hey, Mac, how you doing? Let's get it. Hey, everybody. Hey, Gracie, welcome back. Hey, Tina, welcome back. Oh, if y'all email me, don't worry about it. It's going to take a minute. I have 11,000 emails, so I have to go and try to filter through them and push them to the side to clean out my inbox. So hang tight if you email me and I haven't responded. I also have about 20 sitting in my outbox because I didn't realize it at first. It said, what's the word? We lacing them up. It said, we in the building. Hey, Donald, how you doing? Good news for Shiloh. Yes. Are we still in tryout mode? Now, there were 6 guys trying out. I found out there was 6 guys trying out. I did look at the depth chart. That was the first thing I went to after we concluded on the live yesterday. They have a lot of injuries. So they already signed 1 guy, and then they're trying out 6 more. So Shiloh's a part of that. So let me know if y'all hear anything. Why is Shedeur back in the media again? As far as I saw Shedeur, he was at the hospital visiting someone. I didn't get a chance to look into the story, but I do have a clip of it. I got it from the Shedeur Daily page, but I haven't had time to study it. That's all I know. Other than that, people are picking up where Coach Prime left off and saying that they still they do expect Shedeur to start this season. Remember, Russell Wilson was just benched, and they said Adam Schefter said the head coach has confirmed that Jackson Dart will start for the rest of the season. And I saw Jameis Winston, I think he was quoting Psalm 139. So I don't know how he felt about that, but he was QB3. So he was talking about that. I thought that was interesting. I'm not surprised, though. I kind of knew that was going to happen. It just happened sooner rather than later. And I don't have a problem with it. We talked about that yesterday. And I asked the question on X. I said, okay, so Russell Wilson has been benched for Jackson Dart. Has Flacco been benched yet? See, that's the glaring part of this. See, everybody knows Cleveland needs a quarterback. Everybody knows that Cleveland needs a quarterback and that Joe Flacco is not it. But you don't hear nary a word. You don't hear one word about Cleveland moving on from Flacco. You know why? Because they don't want to move on to their number 2. They want to wait until the schedule get easier. See, that's what New York was intending to do. And I'm sure they've had a lot of fiery conversations behind the scenes. Just do it now. Just do it now. And the coach is like, no, we're not ready because his job is on the line. So Jackson Dart has to go show and prove against some tough opponents that they facing going into week 4. Cleveland doesn't want to do that. They already know they have a 7 schedule haul that they want Flacco to get through before they switch. But it just shows you, right? It just shows you, depending on the situation, they willing to bench Russell Wilson, who's a black quarterback, but not Flacco, who's white. 17-32, because they know Shador right there. And he gonna get past Bailey too, if that's what it takes. But we don't know how it's gonna come about. But some of the big box channels I saw today, they said they agree, not necessarily agree with Coach Prime, but they do believe that he will play this season. So that's why I know him to be in the news. Won't he do it? Yep. It said, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. It said, I'm worried about our defense for real. You should be. I'm going to be honest with you. You should be. What's the game we're getting ready to play is no different than Georgia Tech. It's not. Georgia Tech is ranked also, right? It's no different than Georgia Tech. The one thing that's going to come out of this game, like I said, thankfully the offense got it together last week. So hopefully Caden can hold it down. Now, I hate that we might be missing Decalen Taylor and Simeon Price. I really do. I hate that because I said it. Simeon Price is built because of the way he's built. He's one of the bigger guys, I guess. He's a bulldozer. He's intense. He's a hurdler, right? So anybody that play ball like that has the aggression that we need. Decalen out also. So, again, Caden ended up being the leading rusher. So we're going to have plays that call up the run pass option. Caden going to have to get the hell out of that pocket because them 2 edge rushers, you're going to know their numbers before we get to the second quarter. Those 2 edge rushers, they got their sights on him. He going to have to move fast. And, when it comes to snapping the ball, you got to be on it like that. He going to have to, in his mind, carry this game a little bit, especially if the defense game plan hasn't changed. And it's just going to show as we get later and later into the game. And what people think is a close game could not be one. How many yards did we give up? Georgia Tech. This is the Georgia Tech type game. This is Georgia Tech coming back around in the form of BYU. Understand that. So I say we can win this game, but the game plan got to be different. Offense going to have some damn creative play calling. It's going to be some run pass options out the gate. We won't have time for trying to get 1 yard if I need 10. I'm like, don't do that. Do not waste drives. If you are already 1st and 10, what the hell are you running the ball for if you don't have your number 1 running back to get 1 yard for? See, that's the kind of play calling that irks me. If you already have 1st 10, you need 10 more yards. So I'm going to need you to throw it. And honestly, if your passing game is going to work for you, their secondary, while I said they got him a Travis Hunt over there, 0, Evan Johnson, he the second guy, right? And he got 2 interceptions in 1 game. They all dogs. It's going to be exposed on defense for sure. But this Georgia Tech 2.0, understand it. So we need Caden to carry us like Shador did. That's all it is. That's all I can say. Love you, mama. How you doing? It said, I give Livingston a grade of D. Right. I don't even know why. Actually, I do. I want to say I don't know why he was the highest paid coach, but I do. I'm not going to even lie to you. I ain't going to pull no punches. Look at the context of when he got that contract. They were still negotiating with Coach Prime. And it's not that Coach Prime was going to Dallas. That came up, but that was just leverage. That's just business. But I felt like some people felt some type of way. So they went ahead and secured Doc. I keep saying Doc. Did we call him that? I'm like, do we call him that? Livingston. We went ahead and secured Livingston. And then we secured Coach Prime. Because I have said Livingston don't look like he worried about nothing. He don't look like he worried about nothing. And why would you be? if they signed you before they signed the head coach. And now we have Deshaun Foster and Brent Pre X'd. They secondaries was trash. Colorado's is suffering. And they going to make that comparison. They ain't going to be the last people to make that comparison. So now we're going to need Jesus to come on and get the defense right. You got the offense right, but we're going to see if it's permanent. That's what this is going to expose. If that was Wyoming and we can handle the intense pressure, because we got Iowa State coming too and some more teams like that. So, and I'm sure Kansas State wants to get out of the last place. And Oklahoma State fired their coach, but he been there like 20 years. And he went to school there. But Deshaun Foster went to UCLA and he got fired in 3 games into his second season. Black head coach. So ain't nobody safe. Hell, they talking about on the Falcons. Ain't nobody safe over there either. It's that the defense is on the field so much that they have to rotate players. That's what I said. I said that. But at the same time, you better stop playing man then. If you know that the offense wasn't on the field a lot, Georgia Tech and U of H for sure. By now, going into after Wyoming, maybe you can play man against Wyoming, but you going to have to play some zone defense against BYU. Let's just be honest. If they get burned on Wyoming, what the hell think is going to happen with BYU? You're going to have to get it together. And that's play calling. That ain't on these players. See, you can't keep saying the players need to get it together. The coaches got to get it together too, in terms of what personnel to use and what play calling from defense, what defensive scheme. You can't play man the whole game. If you don't think you have that talent, if you say you playing to their strengths, then you need to stop playing man the whole damn game. Yeah, I understand the rotation, but I don't understand the play calling. I don't understand the overuse of man coverage when you see what's happening. And they should have rotated Preston Hodge out. They could have put him back in. It said BYU is disciplined. Nothing spectacular, but they are disciplined in their game plan. If CU don't play discipline, they will get exposed. Yep. BYU is disciplined, but also too, they have an expectation that is a part of their brand. I think if you know you going to BYU, there is without a doubt you're going to go to anybody's school or you're going to start playing football on your own field. High effort, high energy, and physical play. See, that physical play is what's going to wear you out. That high energy is what's going to wear you out. And that high effort. And when I tell you they talk about it before the game and they come back and they talk about it after the game, see, it's not a question in any of their minds what they're going to have to do at all. And I'm not saying it's a question in ours. I'm talking about their school for what I see. I'm not comparing the two right now. I'm just telling you what it is. So it said, I think BYU will expose CU. I hope we got it together. I do. I hope we got it together on defense in multiple areas. I know we know. Like I said, Taufik Bayard need to start. I think I said that. I was looking for him. I think, was it the Delaware game? Or maybe the U of H game? I don't know. But it should be no question that he's the starter. There should be no question about that. And if it's Reginald Hughes and Martavius French, then no question. Arden Walker, Keith Wade, no question. No question. We don't have time for that. It's a lot at stake, whether you know it or not. It says Snow be like Grandpa said, you look good, you feel good, you play good, right? Snow is sporting that gold chain already. It says Sanders was visiting a patient as part of a Make-A-Wish Foundation. Okay, thank you for that, Tina. Thank you so much. Like I said, I didn't have a chance to get into it, but the stories was that Shedeur is still making a big difference off the field in Cleveland, and I like that because he said that's home for him. It said Russ had the 4 worst plays in a row I ever seen. I don't doubt it because I knew when Daboll said after they drafted Jackson Dart, Russell Wilson gonna be the starter. I said bullshit. I said, for how many games? What he made it 3? Is it 4 or 3? 3. They going into week 4. He made it 3 games. Even before the season, before when they OTA started, there was already conversation on the ground. It was a waste of time to draft Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. Jackson Dart should be the starter. I'm not surprised that it has happened already. That is the pressure that has been behind the scenes. They didn't even want that to work. So I might be watching that game because I want to see. Somebody said, a Giants fan said, y'all picked the worst possible game to put Jackson Dart in. So they over there trying to get Fort Knox together. Let's see what happens. We're going to see. It said, hello, everyone. Flacco hasn't played over 4.5 games, or 3 to 4 years. It said Cleveland Browns are dreaming, right? Like I said, they just praying, and they just trying to get to the weaker part of the schedule. It said BYU coach is defensive minded. Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. It said BYU is great at disguising their defense, hence the Alamo Bowl game. Yeah, we had some issues on our end on Alamo Bowl game, so I didn't really kind of like get into it too much. And then they lost their quarterback. But see, a lot of people think because Bachmeier is a freshman, no. I'm like, any quarterback that wears 47 is telling you he gonna run the ball. He physical like that. I mean, they all play like that. That's why I said this is the one team I can look at and just see everybody is on the same level in terms of they all like they running back is talented, but so is the third string running back. Evan Johnson, 0, is the second string, I think, is the corner, but he's not the leading corner, right? That's what I mean by I don't even know who their wide receivers are. I mean, he might be one. Hell, I don't know. The point is, you could see that, like, the people that I noticed, I was like, wow, they're not even the starters. So when you have a third string out here hurdling, you know what it is for the first string, right? So I just want Colorado to have it together on defense. It took us how many games? 3 whole games to get it together on offense. We don't have 3 whole games to get it together on defense. We don't at all. And I'm hoping that's not where we hit it. So, you know, I like the guy said, I think we can win this. I just think we have to understand who we are. We have to understand who the players are out the gate. BYU is not going to give Colorado time to find out what identity we rolling with tonight on defense. It's like we turning the chapter. Chapter 1 was offense, and you saw how ugly that was until it got to game 4. Now we in chapter 2, defense. It's going to be chapter 3, putting it all together. By the time we get to, if we keep on the slow pace of getting it all together, it's going to be the 6th or 7th week before we can put offense and defense aligned with the same intensity. You know how many times we said it would be good if I think defense can match the intensity of offense last year? Sometime it happened, sometime it didn't. It just depends. And then we had a quarterback, Shador, who I still don't know how he managed to do some of the things he did now that we know about how bad the play calling was. It's like we couldn't even see it last year. I mean, we knew it was, well, we knew Pat Schumer was there, but all of the issues that came up between Georgia Tech and Delaware, we didn't see anything like this. And now we got to move on from offense to defense. I'm just like, oh, Lord, is it going to take 3 more games to get it? We don't have 3 more games. We got to get this. We got to have that fixed right now. While offense was fixing their problems, defense should have been fixing their problems. But it seemed like to me, defense used the first games. They had no choice but to rotate Georgia Tech. They had no choice. And U of H, they had no choice. So what they going to come out with versus BYU, I don't know. But I know it was a lot of man coverage and a lot of people was getting burned, a lot of penalties, and people should have been rotated. Now, that's when you rotate, right? So we'll see. So I'm just going to keep going through the comments, and y'all going to have to let me know. It said, we are counting on Detroit to do their job. Oh, you talking about Flacco. Okay, we going to see. It says, so Flacco has 2 to 3 more games to go. Right. Flacco hasn't played a full season since 2017. I think that's the year. I think, how many did he play in Indianapolis? Was it somewhere between 6 and 8 games, I think. I think that was last year. Yeah, but you don't hear any talk about them benching him, even though the fans are talking about it. It's like, I think Stefanski already came out and said after the Packers game, they're going to still keep the same quarterback. You see, it depends on who the quarterback is. That's what it should show you. I keep telling y'all, 17-32. It said Kaden Salter's NFL career will start to be determined by this Saturday. Okay, yeah, because it's tougher opponent. It said, you think Kaden is going to get drafted? I think he was when he first got here. I think now it's going to be game by game. And they ain't going to care about Wyoming too much. Again, he was supposed to be the leading rusher for quarterbacks. So, you know, it just kind of goes to show you that things change. And again, I think I had it where, let me see right here. Oh, I must have switched to Carmani. So that was a list of who the best defenders were expected to be. Here it is right here. So coming into the season, DJ McKinney was the cornerback, Arden Walker, the defensive end, Jaheim Otis, is he injured? Nose guard, expected to be top 5, and then Amari McNeil, expected to be top 5, and Samuel Okanola. So Okanola and Otis, I'm not sure about those two. I think Okanola was a defensive end, so I don't know if he's injured or not. But those are two people that Amari is getting love from this most previous game. So if he continues on the same upward trajectory, you know, he'll be there. But for now, Jaheim Otis, Amari McNeil, and Samuel Okanola haven't made as much of an impact. Now, DJ McKinney, I don't think he had, let me see exactly what he had in terms of those numbers. Because if you're a good corner, they ain't gonna throw to you, but you still gotta go out here and tackle somebody. Let's see. Because I think they say that's what was happening to Shiloh. When Shiloh was in Tampa, Baker Mayfield wasn't throwing to his side. And I think some people actually criticize Shiloh for tackling. So that tells you that tackling matters a lot. Tion Parks is a name that they said we should see more of. Coleman, I saw him in the last game. Yeah, Coleman had 5 tackles in total, and I don't even know how much playing time he had. Amari McNeil has half a sack. He also has pass deflection. Total is 7. So I don't even know how he played in the Georgia Tech game. I think I looked it up at the time, but I forgot what the numbers were. Because I think I was saying I wanted to see more of McNeil, Taufik Thomas, and Okanola. But I don't know. Okanola might be injured. RJ Johnson has 8 tackles. We see him. I guess he's not a starter. He got more numbers across the board. Vickers. Whew. Again, when it comes to the interceptions, like we're really, let's see who the leading person is on interceptions. Let's see. Let's see. DJ McKinney is leading with interceptions, 3 pass deflections, 14 tackles. RJ Johnson is second. Nobody else. Yep, nobody else. Yep, 14 tackles, 3 pass deflections, 1 interception. And Sean Myers is the third leading running back. Do y'all remember they were talking about him when he got into the game? They said we should see more of him. He had 11 total tackles. And he is a linebacker. No sacks, no sack yards, no pass deflections, no interceptions. Yeah. So he's third in terms of tackles out of DJ McKinney, RJ Johnson, and Sean Myers. But DJ McKinney is still leading with RJ Johnson second on interceptions. They tackles. Guess they got to get up there. So yeah, that's where we are. And what people don't understand is that Georgia Tech game really hurt, right? You don't have to see. If you want to sink a season, I don't need to lose every game. I just need to get out of playoff contention. I just need to get Colorado out of Big 12 contention. And maybe not, we let them go to a bowl game. Who cares? Right? Because right now, we've won 2 games. We got to win 4 more to get to a bowl game. We need 4 more. Now we playing BYU. We got a tough schedule coming up. We got a tough stretch coming up. Imagine had we won, even if we beat Georgia Tech like the first quarter, right? I haven't seen that level of intensity from defense since Georgia Tech. I haven't seen it. I don't know if they took it out, tapped out. The scheme has changed. Maybe they rotated the players because Hughes didn't have a whole lot. I think in the Delaware game, I was like, well, where's Hughes, right? I was asking for Bayard. He's one of the leaders. So there are names that you should see on the field as starters, as the best guys up front. And it's week 4. So there should be no question about who's who at this point. All right. It said, ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. You crazy. You crazy. That's funny. That actually is funny. So I got a video to share. I was gonna mock it up, but I'll just share it. It falls under my pro buff bay category, but I'm gonna share it anyway. I told y'all I have all of these clips just kind of sitting here, and I am going to share it. I don't know if y'all have seen it, so give me a second. I wasn't gonna share it, but it's cute, so I'm gonna share it. While you wait, hit the like button for me, please. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Let's see. Was it still in here? I have videos of Miss Pilar. She was out there in Cleveland. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to work all of this stuff in. I always go with Snow because, you know, he's so cute. He's a baby, so. Let's see if I find it. I should have had it queued up, but I didn't. I was gonna do something else to it. Let's see. No, I don't see it. 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 Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. All right. I'm gonna turn the music off. And you just don't have to watch it because, again, I was going to edit it, but I decided not to. First, let me turn the music off. All right, here we go. There you go. So the Mr. and Mrs. with the baby. So y'all know I've been wanting to see the baby, right? I was like, okay, where the baby at? And I Googled it. It said they still haven't released the baby's name. So I hadn't heard it. I don't know if he's going to be Travis Hunter Jr. Or was it the 3rd? Or if it's going to be something else. Let me know if y'all know. But I Googled it. It said they haven't released the baby's name yet. The house is gorgeous. From what we can see, people say you can see the cat at the top up there. I follow Travis on TikTok. So I appreciate Travis for sharing his family with us because that's what it's saying. It said, this is my family. And, you know, I said, you know, so Leanna's holding the baby. Travis is holding Leanna. And I say, you know, he gets a lot of hate still. But, you know, I just wanted to take a minute to say, you know, one, thank you for sharing your family with us. And because you didn't have to. And secondly, I feel like you could see how happy he is, right? You know, we know Travis, I didn't know his whole story, but the bits and pieces that have been told publicly, he had it rough and rough upbringing for whatever reason. I think at one point he said they were homeless, right? So when you go through something like that and you know how he felt he was poor in high school, you know, said he only had $1 to his name. And we were like, that's okay. But, you know, he hated that, you know, he talked about how he didn't like living in his mom's garage. So what I'm getting at is family is really, really important to Travis. Right. I understand him holding on to his relationship, fighting for his relationship because she had become his wife now. Back then, his girlfriend, then fiance, had become his family. Like, you know, when they, I think they said they were living together. His mom didn't have a problem with it before he left for Jackson State. Then they kind of became each other's family. I think at one point they said she had moved out when she was young, maybe 16 or 17. So they have a lot in common there. And maybe that's their glue, right? But just like I'm happy to see LaJonte and Janiyah. And, you know, I love watching the videos with them. And I love how they love on each other. You know, I cheer for Travis too, right? I cheer for Travis and Leanna because they're very, very young. Very, very young. And one might be more worldly than the other. But this is something they obviously want to do together. And, you know, I'm cheering for them. I'm cheering for them because they'll continue to grow as a young couple. What is Travis even 22 or 23? I told y'all, Caden was 22. He was young for what he was going through. Travis was young. I think they were less than a year apart. So they're going to grow together, right? So that's what we hope for. It brings me joy to see him living his life, his dream on and off the field. He's been playing football since he was 4, since his grandmother put pads on him, you know, for him to play. And then he's been with Leanna since he was in high school. Again, family means a lot to him. So she's family, and he just wasn't going to easily let that go, right? Regardless of what any of us think. I'm still cheering for him because I tell y'all, sometimes you got to start over with people. Sometimes it work out, sometimes it don't. So, you know, he chose to keep going with his family. He's sharing his family with us. So it's all love for me. I wish them well. I wish them well. Every time I see Leanna, she got the baby. Maybe that was something that she wanted, you know, just like he wanted a family, you know, maybe she wanted to, you know, give a child a better experience than she had growing up. And I know that that's what Travis wants. I know he wants to give his son a better experience than he had growing up. So sometimes you just got to start over with people and you just wish them well. God knows what it's going to be either way. So what we should do is just wish them well. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. I was going to mock it up, but this is what it is. And you can hear him saying, you know, this is my family. That's like the caption or something like that. All right. So that's the end of that. I didn't get to mock it up, but I already had it. So I shared it with y'all. So let me see what y'all are saying. It said, can we say, no, you can't. No, you can't. Brian asking a question in the comments. No, you can't. You cannot. You cannot. All right. So we're going to get ourselves out of here. I got some more work to do. And let me know what your thoughts are. Oh, I didn't ask y'all to predict the score. You know why? I didn't ask because I just want us to win. I don't care what the score is. Predict the score while we're still here. So if you're still hanging out in the chat with us, drop the score, your score prediction for BYU versus Colorado, and I'll save it. I already scheduled our virtual watch party live stream. So you should have that notification. If not, look for it or just go to What She Said sports page and you could just put it out there. What's the score? Predict the score. Colorado versus BYU. Let me see what I think. Honestly, regardless of the spread, we already scored 21 points in the second quarter alone. I know Caden is a dog. I didn't study his average points per game, so I can't factor that. I just have to really guess. I think we can win this game. I think we can win this game. I think if we do, it's going to be close. I think it's going to be like a 1 point or 2 point game or a field goal, something like that. I'm going to go with Colorado by a field goal. And 24-21. I'm going to go with 24-21, meaning we're not covering the spread. 24 Colorado, 21 BYU. Let me know y'all's thoughts. Let me know y'all's thoughts there. Yeah. 24-21. All right. There you go. All right. So I'm going to save it because let's see what y'all are saying. I'm waiting for y'all to send me y'all's predictions and then we're going to get ourselves out of here. Shout out again to Omarion for that Dr. Pepper partnership. Okay, let's see. Here's some scores coming in. Perry said 28-27. So you think it's going to be close as well. Did you cover the spread? Yeah, you covered the spread. I didn't cover the spread with my score. I think mine is 45. So 45. So I didn't cover the spread. Anybody else? Score prediction. All right, Perry, I'm going to save yours. I saved mine and yours, and I'm just waiting. Let's see who else. Oh, Perry, you got a second one. You said Colorado 28, to BYU 27. Ooh, that's close. See, I'm thinking it's going to end up being a nail biter. That's what I'm thinking. So I agree with you on that in terms of a 1-point game. That was my first initial thought. You know, they said it should always go with your first thought. So I'm going to save that one too, a 1-point game, but I gave us a field goal because Mata don't miss, right? Doreen Ramsey, how you doing? Doreen said Colorado 30. So, okay, 30-27. Did you cover the spread too? Yeah, you did too. Okay, I'm going to save yours. Gail said 28-17 Colorado. Okay. So it's good that we are winning. We are winning. 35-21. Okay. Okay. So you gave us 3 touchdowns. Brian said, okay. And then Freeman. Hey, Freeman, how you doing? It said 34-24. Okay, a bigger gap. All right. So, okay, let me ask this question. For the people that had the biggest gap, that's Gail. Well, 28-17. Yeah, that's Gail, Brian, Freeman. The rest, everybody was close. Why do y'all have such a disparity in the points, even though you have us winning? Are y'all saying that Freeman has us winning 34-24? That's 10 points. So are y'all saying that the offense is gonna get it? That's what y'all saying. Is that the reason for your point disparity? You're like, Caden is a dog, so we know offense gonna get it. Then we know we got a good run game now. They opened up the playbook last week. Hopefully they just come with some more creativity. Is that the rationale behind the gap in points? Let me know. I want to know. I'll wait for anybody's response. Gail, Brian, or Freeman. Let me know. The rest of us are close. Yeah, the rest of us are close. Oh, let me save mine too. 24-21. Okay. It said they can't cover all of our wide receivers and stop the run. Ooh, okay. Okay. I like it. I like it. I like it. So basically, you're saying our offense is going to give us the edge. They can't stop the run and cover our wide receivers. Freeman said, K-Salt will be hot. Okay. All right. All right. I think so too. Okay. I like it. Okay. I like that. Okay. These are points of views that no one else has discussed. People are talking about the defense. I shared that conversation. Again, I wanted to focus on the defense. I said if Caden can keep us in the game and just throw it, if the run game, if the Kalen Taylor is out, if Simeon Price is out, we still got Draylon, we still got Caden, we got Micah, we got Dallin Hayden. So I'm going to agree with you on that. K-Salt will be hot. They can't cover all of our wide receivers and stop the run. Okay, I like it. All right. Well, we're gonna end on a good note. We're gonna end on a good note. That's some good note, some positivity. I already scheduled the members only chat for 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday. Already scheduled for Saturday, 10 o'clock. Already scheduled the virtual live stream watch party for BYU versus Colorado. I'm going to see if I might have to screenshot the scores or just leave them over there start so we could come back to it when we are alive, when we're live. Titus said 41-13 Colorado. Okay, Titus, that's a huge disparity. So I'm gonna need you to share and keep the conversation going in the comments once the live is posted. Tell us why it is that you had such a disparity. It said our QB1 is going to show up and show out. Right. And I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that at all. Okay, I'm gonna save that. Thank you, Gail. Thank you. All right, y'all, we can keep the conversation going in the overall comment section once this live stream is uploaded. I'm going to get myself out of here and get some dinner, and I got more work to do. So I'll see y'all tomorrow on What She Said Sports. Thank you to everybody watching the videos. I told y'all, almost like a entirely new community. I appreciate it. And we have made it to 5,300. So if you're just now hanging out with us, hit the subscribe button. We're on pace to go to 10,000. But first, we got to get to 6,000. And to me, that's going to be a big milestone in my personal opinion. So 5,300, see if you can get us to 6,000. All right, y'all, have a good night. Thanks for watching What She Said Sports. Thanks, everybody. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Be sure to join our daily live stream and listen up to What She Said Sports on the go on Spotify.
Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Stay for another video.